Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase with Picatinny rail adapter so you can mount it to any standard AR-15 like all Usp accessories can be. Go to Topping Technologies and click the flamethrower button to learn more and see me shooting a flamethrower, or click the URL in the video description below. Lastly, trying to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have the Porsche GT3 with a stick shift, taking a new lap record that stood for 8 years, dethroning the iconic Dodge Viper, one of 3 good cars Dodge ever made. I'm kidding, they made slightly more than that. Now this is brought to us thanks to Motor1.com, specifically Chris, who's right over there, and he says, quote, 2025 Porsche 911 GT3 takes manual Nurburgring record with Georg Burgermeister at the wheel. Porsche beat the Dodge Viper's ACR track record by 10 seconds, which is insane. The amount of effort it takes just to beat your record by a second on the track is momentous. I mean, it's one of those things where you first start learning circuit racing, and it's really cool to see, you could slash off 3 to 4 seconds, maybe 6, 7, 10 seconds. Because again, you're just like any new skill set, when you're starting off, there's a lot of room for improvement. I know people that spend thousands of dollars just to get a quarter of a second off their lap time. And 10 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but in racing, that is an eternity. And again, this record stood for years, and you can see the iconic Porsche 911 GT3 with a couple wheels just in the air, literally. A little disappointing. It's not a cool, fun color like green, though. Yeah, blue is still kind of fun. Now, they say, quote, as promised, Porsche set a new Nurburgring lap record. Can't pronounce German words that well, except for, Heckler and Koch and Porsche. I have a lot of room for improvement, needless to say. They say, quote, they set the lap record for manual transmission cars with the new 911 GT3. Factory driver Georg Burgmeister managed to set a lap time of 6:52.29.4 with a 6-speed 2025 911 GT3. That also not only crushes the only manual transmission lap record, but also beats the previous GT3 lap time, which was set with a PDK-equipped car, aka with a fancy German term that they have for their automatic transmission in the Porsche, which, yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that fancy word. But the acronym is a PDK. Now they say, quote, the Dodge Viper ACR, which that was one of those things where it was a pinnacle of the Dodge Viper. It was basically a track car that was street legal. They removed all the amenities, the things you don't need, and they just focused on what is the best track car we can make. Like, still has the, legal requirements like the turn signals, all that crap. And actually, the ACR, I'm actually trying to remember how many of them were actually converted or made street legal. It eludes me at the moment. But they say, quote, the Dodge Viper ACR held the only manual transmission Nurburgring record for 8 years with a 7:01.3 lap. And note that this lap time was set before the ring standardized its timing procedures, which stipulate a lap of full 12.94 mile course. Previously, the lap times set out over the short pit straight for a 12.8 mile lap. On a shorter 12.8 mile lap, the new GT3 managed a remarkable 6:51.764. So really, the GT3 was over 10 seconds faster than the Viper, despite a deficit of 140 horsepower, because again, Dodge Viper has an iconic V10, 10 cylinders of glory, as well as it only came with a manual transmission, which all cars should be like that, by default, but nevertheless, it's becoming rare and rare things. And they also say that, quote, the new 911 GT3 inspires even more confidence at the limit than the previous model. I was almost faster in every corner, said Burmeister in a statement. We learned a lot from the 911 GT3 RS, especially in the chassis. The car is even more stable on bumps and over the curbs, and thanks to the 8% shorter gear ratio, there's noticeably more power at the rear axle when accelerating with the same engine power. Even if you have been a few seconds faster than 7-speed PDK with a 6-speed manual gearbox, I definitely had more to do on the first lap and thus a bit more fun. And you can see that beautiful interior of the Porsche 911 with the manual transmission, which is all too rare these days. It's less than 30 new cars or less than 30 models of cars in the United States can be bought with the manual transmission. I think it was 27 or 28 last time I checked. They also say that, quote, Porsche's test car had the optional, another fancy German word, Weissbach package, which includes a number of weight-saving measures and carbon fiber trim pieces. The car also had Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires, which is the fastest rubber available for the new GT3. So it's impressive on a couple of different levels, and a record can't imagine anyone will beat soon, not unless Gordon Murray Automotive wants to take a crack at it, which, iconically, the man behind the infamous best McLaren ever, low bar, but the McLaren F1. Then later he had his own car last year with the V12 and a stick shift. So pretty cool to see, still making lap records and still with a stick shift, even cooler. It's even more impressive, is faster than the automatic, which is nearly impossible. Granted, human error exists and a lot of variables. But yeah, really cool Porsche news today. And yeah, what a marvel of engineering in this, as well as obviously being a good driver. Now, if only the price point wasn't more in a house, I'd be getting one of these things ASAP. But let me know your thoughts and comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I really appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.